Recently, I was talking to a woman who shared a problem that she's been experiencing on dates. She attracts men and situations where she ends up being in this space holding role. She ends up doing most of the listening in the conversation, and the man ends up being the one that's talking. He is opening up. He's talking about his problems. He's talking about his feelings, and that doesn't feel good for her. It doesn't feel good for a woman, typically. We're going to talk about why that happens, and I'm going to tell you about what you can do if you find yourself in that unpleasant situation. Hello, I am Zach Rohde, and I am here to lead you into creating the relationship of your dreams by learning how to inspire a man into cherishing you by you using your feminine energy and feminine communication. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, make sure that you hit the subscription button below, hit the notification bell so that you get further notifications about future videos, and be sure to like this video because I'm going to make sure it's a good one for you today. So, this dynamic where the man is opening up, sharing feelings, sharing problems, and you just end up listening. This is what I call a reverse polarized dynamic. Because in a healthy dynamic, it is the man that is opening up the woman. He is learning about her, asking her questions, creating this space and holding this space for her to share what's coming up for her, creating this safety for her to do so, which allows her to be seen, feel heard. It's not really a feeling. And a man's going to enjoy doing that for her because he likes being in that masculine role and he enjoys feeling the woman's feminine energy. But things can get flipped around where it's the man that's doing all the talking or most of the talking and the woman is kind of stuck listening. Why would this happen? There's a few reasons that we're going to talk about. One is that a woman often finds herself in this situation because she is uncomfortable being seen, opening up, being vulnerable. So if you are afraid of these things, then you are unconsciously going to create situations where you are in the space holding role because the space holding role is safer. It feels safer. It's not actually safer, but it feels safer. You get to be the one that is opening up the man and holding all the space for him while he opens up. He does the thing that you are actually afraid of. And there's many reasons you might be afraid of that, right? You may have been shut down in childhood. It's typically a childhood thing, but you're shut down in childhood. You weren't really given a voice. Your feelings didn't matter. Your needs didn't matter. And so the control pattern that you learn to stay safe in childhood is to not be seen, to be the one that's taking care of others. Another reason that this may have come up because of childhood is you ended up being the one that had to take care of one or both of your parents or siblings. You had to hold space for them because they were emotionally dysregulated. They had all these problems. And instead of them being proper parents, you kind of ended up being the parent. And this can happen too with a parent who's just really emotionally dysregulated. And you learn to stay safe by not saying much and trying to help them with their feelings. So now this pattern is continuing, and the problem is if it continues, you're going to continue to find men who are actually quite emasculated, who are weak, who are more in their feminine energy, who can't lead, who are incapable of opening you up and treating you like the woman that you deserve. That's probably not what you want, right? If you have found this channel, there is a reasonably good chance that you want to be in the feminine role with a man where he is fully opening you up, he is leading you, he's taking care of you, he's cherishing you, he's protecting you, he is making you feel like a princess with his care. Right? He is in the masculine role and you are in the feminine role. But you are enabling his unhealthy patterns because understand, it's not just you. You're doing certain things to co-create this dynamic. You're actually attracting these more feminine men in the first place because of your energy, because of your mindset, because of your limiting beliefs. And then, of course, there's the man himself who is also a problem, right? Because so you attract this man and now you're going to co-create this situation together where he wants to be unconsciously more in his feminine energy and you want to be more in your masculine energy to stay safe, right? That's the main reason that a woman wants to be in her feminine energy. And I say want, like you don't want it because it doesn't feel good for you to be in your masculine energy, but you do want it on some level because you're trying to stay safe. That's what this all boils down to. You're trying to stay as safe as you can. And that's what you learned is safe in childhood, is to be in this kind of pattern. And breaking out of it feels unsafe, which also isn't a feeling, right? But you will feel anxiety. You will certainly feel anxiety. And if you continue to stay in this pattern, like I said, you'll attract these emasculated men. You won't be happy. If you ended up getting in a relationship with one of these men, I mean, that's not going to feel good either, right? Because it'll be totally unfulfilling. But you make this problem even worse than it is because you don't share what's actually coming up for you. Like, take a moment and feel into this. It doesn't feel good for you to be in this dynamic. Like, you feel some level of discontent, some level of discomfort, maybe boredom, loss of attraction. There can be various feelings that you're feeling. Those aren't good feelings. Now, you're stuck in the pattern to try to stay safe, right? To not feel that anxiety of moving outside of the pattern. So it's like this comfortable feeling, even though it doesn't really feel good. It's sort of like being at home, bored out of your mind, instead of going out and having fun with friends because you're really socially anxious. Like, you could have way more fun going out with your friends, but it's more comfortable being at home, even if it's boring. Okay? It's like a safe kind of boring. So you need to break out of that. But the problem is, if your fear is of being fully seen and the fear of like being judged and essentially abandoned, right? If you are seen, that's the main reason that you're afraid of being seen in the first place. If you are afraid of that, then you're also going to be afraid to show a man and share with a man what you're actually feeling in that situation, right? You're not actually going to share those feelings. You're not going to ask for help with what you're experiencing. Instead, you're just going to let it happen. You're passively allowing him to stay stuck in his patterns. And he's passively enabling you to stay stuck in your patterns. And then nothing shifts. If you want something to shift, you have to start learning how to communicate what's actually going on for you. You have to communicate your needs, communicate your feelings. You have to use feminine communication. Right? Because it's not just about sharing what's coming up for you. It's also about sharing it in a way that's actually going to inspire a man to get it, to see what the problem is, to be a better man for you because he really cares, because he wants to protect you, because he wants to make you happy. Not to people please, but just out of genuine care for you. The only way that's going to happen is using feminine communication, is by getting really vulnerable, getting tapped into your heart, getting really receptive and sharing everything from that beautiful feminine place. And then a man knows, oh, okay, this is how she feels when I'm just talking. Maybe I should do something about it. Maybe I should ask her questions. Right? Maybe I should find out about her life. Maybe I should stop talking for a minute. Right? In his pattern, that's typically coming from his own anxiety. Right? Just like you have an anxiety of being truly seen, he's going to have his own anxiety around, needing to over-explain or something like that for him not to be rejected. It could just be that he's totally oblivious and doesn't care about you as well. But usually it's because of one of these specific fear-based wounds that he has. You can shift that, and it's totally up to you. But you need to learn how to communicate differently. And this is what I teach you in our masterclass. This is what I teach you in my academy program. This is what I teach you in my webinar. This is what I teach you in my books. This is what I will teach you how to do in a way that feels so good for you and will get you incredible results with a man. Not just learning how to flip this dynamic, but flip any dynamic where your needs are not being met. It's like you deserve all of your needs to be met all the time. And this is what I help you shift. All of my offers are in the description below. You just open that up below the video, click one of the links, and get started. Start learning this stuff. Start transforming your life. It's up to you.